So this might be a little bit of a recurring theme on today's show, but as a lot of you are familiar with, I record these commentaries, at least the early morning commentaries. I usually record them the night before. So at the time of me speaking into this microphone, it's actually early in the morning, past midnight, Sunday, April 27th. Really, you can say it's Saturday night. And the reason I'm saying this might be a recurring theme on today's show is because I wanted to apologize. I'll apologize if my voice isn't as upbeat or enthusiastic as it normally is, even though we are talking about some exciting Canadian stuff. But in my city in Vancouver, there was a terrible tragedy that happened on the night of April 26th, wherein a big SUV ran through a community-organized event that was a celebration for Filipino heritage and culture. The Lapu-Lapu Day Festival was taking place in Vancouver yesterday, and I had friends that were there, and that had an amazing time, and that witnessed just the vibes and the energy of people celebrating culture. I'm a Filipino dude, as most of y'all are familiar with, so to see an egregious act which lacks so much humanity get displayed yesterday, where it seems like multiple people have passed away and even more are severely hurt. It's kind of taken the wind out of me personally, so I apologize if my energy levels are not totally up there, but because I do the show daily, because I make videos every day, I wanted to go out there and address that, and I'll address it multiple times throughout today's show. Maybe not the second time we talk about Montreal, or even the third time we talk about Montreal. When we switch teams and get new fan bases in here, I wanted to give my thoughts and condolences out for that situation and what happened because, of course, you know, I'm a Vancouver guy. I'm a Filipino guy. This tragedy immediately impacts so many people in my bubble, in my world, just in my walk of life here. And I just wanted to shine some light on that because that's really what's going through my mind the most today. Even though there are some important hockey games to watch and there are some videos that I have to make personally about hockey, which is fine, I'm happy to do that, but I'd be lying to y'all if I said that everything up in my mind was 100% peachy squeaky clean because I'm filtering it all out. No, I can't say that, because I'm very much thinking about the folks that lost their lives yesterday and everybody else that got hurt and the total injustice that was served to members of the Filipino Vancouver community. So I wanted to get that off my chest first. I'm sorry, it took like 3 minutes to get that message across, but I think it's a really important message. Let's talk about Montreal and Washington game number 4, because it is happening later today, and we had some notes yesterday that went over some things with the goaltending that I think we do need to dive into. Now, in yesterday's video, wherein we discussed some of the comments that were made by folks around the organization, we had spoken about the Martin St. Louis thoughts, we had spoken about Sammy Montembeault, how he was being evaluated, but we didn't necessarily talk about the other guy. You see, there is a conversation that you can have about Logan Thompson as well, because when the Canadiens scored, I believe it was the Juraj Slafkovsky goal. Yeah, that's what it was. The really important Juraj Slafkovsky goal with minutes to go in the third period to extend the Montreal Canadiens' lead in the hockey game up to 5-3. When that goal went in, you had Lindstrom of the Washington Capitals, fresh off of a beautiful old turnover, absolutely cross-check goaltender Logan Thompson in the head. In the head, under the neck area, right under the goalie mask. It was ugly. For some reason, Lindstrom picked up a hell of a lot of speed as the puck was crossing the goal line, as he rammed right into his own goaltender, taking out Thompson in the process and forcing Charlie Lindgren to go out there and play. Lindgren, by the way, let in a goal in 5 shots against on the power play. So there was only an .800 save percentage on Lindgren's behalf. But now we're heading into a game number 4 where things aren't really all too clear. Here are some comments made from different folks around the Canadiens beat yesterday. Eric Engels went out there and posted this. Martin St. Louis speaking out on Jakub Dobes from game number 3. I think he knows what he did this year for us. He came in and had a really great start. Then he went through a tougher stretch for a young goaltender, but he finished strong. The last 2 games he played, when you think about them, we needed those points, and he played and gave us good performances. We know he's capable of doing that, and we have to play well enough in front of him to not force him to steal us a game. But we know he can do that too. I think he'll be ready for no matter what, and we'll try to help him. And this was met with a whole bunch of people speaking out. Maxime Truman, who of course does stuff for Dans les Coulisses and he does stuff for the radio, he went out there and posted this on Twitter in response to the St. Louis comments, saying, hey, no surprise there, but it definitely sounds like Jakub Dobes is going to start tomorrow. And of course, I already said at the beginning of this video that I'm recording this shortly past midnight on Sunday early in the morning. So by the time this video is public on YouTube, we probably have some other information. But for now, just reading the tea leaves, just reading the comments, just seeing Martin St. Louis' very expressed verbal confidence in Jakub Dobes, it does seem more likely that he ends up playing rather than Sami Montembeault, who was being evaluated yesterday. And if he does get evaluated to the point where it's like, oh no, he's actually good to go, I'd be very surprised about that. If it does happen, then okay, I'll have my hands up and you can call me a liar, but this seems like it's going to be Jakub Dobes' opportunity. But at the very least, Habs fans, Habs coaching staff, they're confident in him, which is awesome. Now, yesterday as well, Eric Engels posted this about how, for the Washington Capitals, Logan Thompson was not on the ice for the team. Meanwhile, Alexei Protosh was. This goes out there and adds another layer of goaltending controversy and discussion into this series. And as it was published by Sammy Silber on the Hockey News, this was posted about earlier yesterday. It is the Washington Capitals notebook, the latest on Logan Thompson, with Charlie Lindgren expected to start in Game 4. Protosh is a full go, and it's possible to see him return. Coach Spencer Carberry didn't have an update on Thompson, who was injured and left Friday's game after a collision with Lindstrom. However, he spoke at length about the ability of Charlie Lindgren, who is expected to start Game 4 after relieving Thompson. It'll be next man up for us, and we know Chucky Lindgren. He's done a great job. He's a great goaltender, Carberry said. There is no concern there of our group having a letdown or our staff having a lack of confidence. We have 2 great guys. And so, Carberry's not really showing his hand either, which is very common for these Stanley Cup playoffs. You're not going to see any coach admit that a guy is hurt at any point during the time the games are being played. Sure, when you get eliminated or whatever, you can say whatever you want. Yeah, all of our guys are playing with broken ribs, but for the most part, now that we're in the thick of it, this is not the time to be revealing the details on goaltender injuries. So, Logan Thompson, Sami Montembeault, not playing, doesn't look like they will. If any of these guys actually play today, then I will be absolutely shocked. But, you know, I've been shocked before. I've made videos on things that were proven totally false, even by the time the videos were uploaded, because I pre-record these commentaries. It's happened before. I think the craziest thing was when I made a video talking about how the Oilers rejected a Duncan Keith trade from the Chicago Blackhawks, and we had that conversation in a commentary, and then right before the video was public on YouTube, Duncan Keith actually did get traded to the Blackhawks, and I got roasted in the comments section, rightfully so, because, you know, sometimes the videos do actually come out whilst I am sleeping. So that's going to be the case here with this commentary. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below about the goaltending here. Looks like we're going to have a backup goaltending battle. Just in case any of y'all wanted the scoop, Charlie Lindgren was fine this year. I don't want to say he was amazing, but he also was playing on the best team in the Eastern Conference. Charlie Lindgren in the 2024-2025 Washington Capitals season had a pretty decent record. He went 20-14-3, but he did have an .896 save percentage in 39 games played and a .273 goals against average. That is not great. He was better last year, statistically speaking. So is this a guy that scares you? Let me know in the comment section why or why not. We'll make some other videos talking about the Habs and the Caps heading into the game and talking about some of the extra notes before puck drop. But this commentary, it's just a commentary from the night before. I wanted to talk about the goaltending, and I want you to let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.